Are you serious?
You know
I
what?
don't wear acrylic.
Yeah.
It do make your nails so brittle.
Yeah,
I'm going through that
about
after
to
fact
know.
where they
Yeah, I'm
keep
trying
breaking.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right. So I guess we can start. Awesome. Awesome. So thank you guys for tuning in to Bread and Butter Podcast. I'm so excited today. We're talking about holiday cheer. I have Henreatta, Myisha, and Robin in the studio today. I'm so excited. Yay.
Hey, girl, hey.
Awesome. So in case you don't know what holiday cheer is, it's literally, no, I'm just kidding. It's okay. So family dinner time or family dinner table etiquette. So
Yes.
we're here joined together in the studio. We're gonna pretend like this is the dinner table, and we're gonna talk about family dinner table etiquette. So whoever wants to start. I know everyone has a lot to say about this because I know I do, especially a week before Christmas. Mm-hmm. Yep. So let's get it kicking.
Well, let's talk about the family gossiping.
Oh, shut up.
Fresh out the gate.
Right now, I'm the hot topic in my family.
Okay.
So,
Oh my God, yeah, no.
So,
How was Thanksgiving with that?
I hung out with different family members.
Okay.
So,
Me
yeah.
too. It was boring.
I had a good time.
Really good, good. What did you guys end up doing?
Well, I hung out with my brothers
Okay.
and their wives. And it
Did
was
you
a
guys
good
go
time.
shopping?
No.
Oh, okay,
I don't
good.
like Black Friday
Same.
shopping.
I'm not a
Me
Black
either.
Friday shopper. at
Too many
all.
people, I automatically get an attitude.
Yeah.
You
You
can't
know?
do the congestion. Anxiety is super high.
Parking, people don't know how to drive. I gotta walk in love, and for me to walk in love, I gotta stay at home.
I know that's right. Now listen, gossip, man, that could stretch so far. Like, let us know about a time now. What are they talking about with you, with gossip? I just need to know. Like, I know, but I don't think anybody else knows. Like,
Wow.
Right. I
if
would
it's
like
too
to know.
sensitive, let me know.
Well, I'm freshly divorced, but I haven't actually made my official announcement to my family yet.
Okay.
I just confided in my mom because she, when things started like going down, essentially, once I finally was just like, okay, yeah, I'm about to dip.
Ooh.
I confided in my mom and told her not to tell anybody, but she took it upon herself to talk to other people about it. And
Wow.
so I wasn't ready to talk about it yet because I had to get comfortable with the whole like shame and like the whole like, oh, I'm just like everybody else or whatever.
Yeah.
And so like for me, it's put me in a real position with her because it's like I'm mad at her, but like my family's trying to reach out because they like care, but it's like I've kind of just been ducking everybody calls
Because you're not ready.
yeah, like I'm
Right,
ready now, but I don't want to have the conversation 10 million times. So I'm just going to like make a video and post it on my family Facebook and say
okay.
like, you know, don't ask me. It is what it is. Refer
So
to the
this is a
Facebook
one
video.
time, right?
Yeah,
Comment
so-
below.
Yeah, but actually on my way here, my mom like called talking
good.
about she wanted me to go see my aunt or something like that, and I'm like, well, why my aunt ain't called me and told me she needed help?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, well, you ain't answering the phone for nobody. So now I kind of feel some type of way right now because I feel like she's still talking with them,
Yeah.
even though she claims she learned her lesson. But I don't know. It's
No, they
just-
never do. You know, when you
Yeah.
get to a certain age, you could be. Some people are stuck in their ways.
This
Yeah.
is true.
What about you?
This is true. So gossip can always be very tricky, especially when it comes to this time of the year where it's
Yeah.
the holidays. So it becomes more, it can be more explosive than what it would have been at any other point of the year, right?
Like Easter might not be that bad.
Right, yeah, like I can make it through Memorial Day, okay?
Right.
But now you have yourself not only feeling vulnerable within maybe who are in or who were in your immediate household, like your siblings and your parents, but now you have all of this extended family, the aunties, the uncles, the
Yeah.
first, second, and third cousins that are, now they just have this open door to what's going on in your personal life.
Yeah.
So with this time of the year, thanks girl, it can be a tad bit trickier. However, something that I have learned, and it has definitely taken me some time to do this because I can be a very private person, is just really reminding people just that. And understanding that I am not obligated to
preach.
reveal, my very personal sentiments, whether it be my mother or whether it be my grandmother.
Absolutely.
I'm not obligated. And as my family member, what I really need you to do is work on respecting that, just out of the love that you have for me. You may not understand the decision I made, you may not agree with the decision I made, but let me just walk in my own path, because it's my life and these are our choices. So just understanding that part, because some families tend to guilt us, right? Like, oh, well, why you ain't tell nobody? And, oh, well, what did you do?
Girl.
And, oh, that's not
Baiting.
fair to the family.
That's
Baiting
what I
and
call
trying
it.
to pull me into this messier situation than what the situation already was, right? So it definitely gets tricky, but understanding how to kind of maneuver in those waters and making sure they are hearing us out and not just talking us down like we're still the kid, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you find that for you and your private life, because I know you just said that you're pretty private, do you find that social media plays a role, or does it help or hurt your that situation when it comes down to your privacy, or the lack of respect that your family might have for you when it comes down to your personal life?
So now we throwing in social media.
I know.
'Cause it's like, when we at the house and we at the dinner table, it's like,
we at the dinner table.
but you're right. There's no way to avoid it. It's everywhere around us.
Yeah.
So with the social media aspect, it does make things even more difficult. But I mean, I would take the same approach if an announcement needs to be made, or if I feel comfortable enough to make the announcement, because it doesn't need to be made.
Yeah.
Right. So
Absolutely.
if I want to make that post or share that video with the fam, then I'll do that at the time that I feel is a good time for myself, not at the request of everybody else.
Period.
Right.
Absolutely.
So yes, it's trickier, but we have to stand by our grounds as growing women.
Absolutely.
And understand what our boundaries are and make that clear to others.
Absolutely. I wish my mom would know that.
My mom is learning that curve.
What about you, Robin? Gossip, how does that work?
Okay, so gossip with me, I too try to say private. Okay, so like with social media, my Instagram and my Facebook completely different.
Okay.
See, you,
Yeah.
Yes.
You're a star.
yes,
Okay.
that's what you do.
What
All
about
your
social
friends are on
media?
Instagram. Your family's on Facebook. So if you want to share it on
Facts.
both, you do that.
Facts.
But me, I'm like, okay, if my family go feel some type of way, I'm gonna put it on Instagram. I might not put it on Facebook. And if it's for the family, it's going on Facebook, because I don't got time for people like all in my business like that,
Yeah.
judging. And I just
Yeah.
want to live my own life the way I want to live it and have fun. Life
Yeah.
is too short to be living how someone else wants you to live. Like, just live it your way.
Yes.
Side note, I love your Christmas or your holiday inspired nails.
Oh, so
my God, I just
cute.
noticed that.
Yes.
Pretty.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, but I second that. No, seriously, live life to the fullest. YOLO.
Right.
Because honestly, trying to live up to somebody's expectations, you always gonna fail because you're not in their head.
Yes.
So it's a waste of your time.
That sounds like a
honestly.
lesson learned for real, because like, man, trying to live up to other people and their expectations.
And
you
humans
always
are
fall
never
short.
satisfied.
No.
So
No,
Never.
not at all.
you can't even fully satisfy yourself, let alone somebody else.
A constantly moving target.
Exactly.
Absolutely. For myself, gossip, oh my God, y'all. Like, okay, so for you, like me and your mother, we found out last night are one of a kind, okay? There are two peas in a pod. No, seriously, my mom, let's not even start with my mom. Let's start with the head, okay? My grandmother, okay? I call her TMZ.
Oh boy.
Okay?
Yeah.
She got 4 daughters. Each and every one of them is her source, okay? So anything you do growing up, anything, you sneezed the wrong way. My mom is reporting back to TMZ. And when you go to TMZ, you can find out anything you want about anybody who got pregnant today, who got a DUI yesterday, who went to jail, who got beat up. No, serious. You can who the alcoholic. I don't know, but just anything, you know. or who got baptized. You know, you can find out some random stuff about people that you don't even like. I haven't heard from her in a while. Really?
Right.
Oh
I
my
now
God.
know her whole life.
Yeah, you know, no, but seriously. And so I learned pretty young on to only put out in the world what you want people to know.
Yeah.
And that's just a lesson I learned from my family alone. Like, we're not talking about when you walk outside the door, the lessons that you learn out there. We learn that in the house.
Exactly.
Because my mom will, I can't even start, we're just not going to say my mom, but people in my family, period. Okay, so like I had a child pretty young. A lot of people know that. But like before I was ready, before I was even showing, like before I was ready to reveal to people, my mom told my grandmother. And so Thanksgiving come up, I walk in there and then everybody get quiet. They looking kind of hard. Like,
Yeah.
you know, oh, and then the questions, oh my God, the questions that you aren't even ready to answer yet because you're not even, well, at that point, I wasn't even secure within myself. I was very vulnerable.
Yeah,
I was just going through a lot of things mentally.
Yeah.
And then you go through, you know, or anything, if you were going through anything and people know this stuff already or they're questioning these things and they want to approach you about it, are you necessarily ready to even provide those answers? And I wasn't.
Yeah.
And so, like, I had people ask, who is your baby daddy?
Right.
I was like, you don't know them. I don't know how to answer that.
Yeah.
Or anything. Like you just found out, like, I haven't gotten my degree yet. A lot of people in my family, oh my goodness. So they'll approach me about, when are you going to get your degree? You know, or are you still in school or whatever? They'll gossip about anything.
Yeah.
So, and I'm just like, oh man, I haven't even told like my friends about this yet though. Like, how did you? Mom, really?
Right.
But you know what?
Really?
It makes me wonder what kind of conversations are okay for us to have. Because it's like family share stuff. Like, how do we turn the gossip from being so negative? Like, what positive conversations can we have where it won't be so annoying
I'm
to the
happy
person?
you said that because that's in here. Like, how do we embrace each other? How do we uplift each other? A lot of times, the reason why I put that in the outline was because a lot of times I find within my family and with other people's families and our community, we aren't really equipped to embrace each other. We're not taught at a young age, okay, this is my family member or this is my cousin, or even the competition amongst women. You know, that goes through with your family too. So when you see your cousin that you held a grudge with, or she may have looked at you the wrong way for no reason, or somebody told her something, got back to you, or about you, and now you looking at her sideways, 3 Thanksgivings later, you know, because y'all hadn't gotten past. I'm telling you, this is the truth though.
No,
I have gone to dinner.
Yes.
And I don't know why that person is upset with me or won't say much to me. And I'm like, you are my first cousin. Like, I haven't talked to you in years.
Girl, okay.
But it's a real thing. So I think that we aren't really equipped to embrace each other, you know, how we should embrace each other as women and as family members.
Correct.
You know, so I mean, y'all could touch on that too, because like that's a hot topic. You know?
Yeah, no, it is, and I do agree with you wholeheartedly. A lot of times it's so easy for us to just spot out something negative and just take it and run. Yes, just criticize whoever we can, rather it be because we want to just take attention off of ourselves or because we really are just a judgmental person for whatever reasons. It's so easy for people to do that, and you see that more often than you do the other way around, right? Like you said, being able to make it positive or being able to just, put a different spin on it. But one thing that I will say, one thing I'll say about right now is things are certainly changing.
Oh, absolutely.
So I feel as though things are changing. I'll make sure that I make
as you
it
get older
my
or like
opinion.
around you.
So I would say some of it, I'm sure, is a result of us growing as women, right? And understanding that we do not have to always go against one another, even when everyone else around us are pinning us up against each other, because that's what the world does. But understanding that we can get so much further hand in hand as women and embracing that sisterhood. So I'll say that part, just growth overall. And our culture, I feel as though there's a shift right now that's also happening.
Yeah.
So, and I say that because for sure, when I was in middle school and high school, the sisterhood, it was not real.
No,
it was
not
not
at all.
real. Everything was very cliquey, and now you have it where
Queen-ness.
yes, queen this, sis this, like, okay, like, it's just, so much more positivity and sisterhood and unity today.
I like that you brought that up, only because you just had an event where you had a lot of people come together, and it was, I mean, you've been doing this for years, where you have a lot of women unite, and people who don't do, usually will come together, they came together. Now, I had a question about that, just based off of what you said. Do you think that when it comes to people who don't know each other or people who are friends, do you think it's easier for them to come together than it is for family members to come together? Like, I've known you forever, but then my cousin, I might trust you more than I might trust my cousin, or there's certain things that, I would say to you that I wouldn't say to her, or I might embrace you before I embrace her, which is backwards, but I don't know if that's, I'm just saying, do you think it's easier for you to throw an event like that with random people versus your family?
Right.
Because, I mean, you had cousins there, but do you think it would be as successful with your family members?
So, well, that's a very good question. It's making me look at the event in an entirely different light.
Look at Friendsgiving.
So, yes, exactly. Now we're doing Friendsgiving. We weren't doing this 10 years
right?
ago. And now it's something that it's just us embracing each other and, like you said, and having that unity. But as far as being in those certain spaces with family versus friends, or new friends versus old friends, I would not have believed that it would have just ran as smoothly as it did.
Yeah.
And what I mean when I say that, because now I'm analyzing, right? So what I'm thinking is there's a certain sense of vulnerability that we all carry with us as women, as friends, as associates, family members, all different levels, right? And when you're around family, though it may seem as though they're the ones that know you best, with that comes a kind of heavy burden, right? They know too much.
No,
they know too much. They done found out from grandma and them. They done found out from auntie. They done found out from the other cousin. They found out from everyone. So whereas when you are with women that you're just honestly, just meeting or have recently met, that judgment disappears.
Not there.
Yeah, it's just not there.
Yeah.
So you have women that are, for instance, we played this game called Courageous Confessions.
Ooh.
And, just hearing that, it's I probably wouldn't do some of that with my family,
Yeah,
but
no,
you have
family
this
members
circle
didn't need to
of
know
women.
half of that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. I ain't need to know about my cousin. But
jumping in lakes and stuff.
Right, yeah, but that sense of vulnerability is just you know what, I'm in good company right now, and these women, we're all talking about the same experiences, so
Absolutely.
yeah, I feel more comfortable that I can share.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to move on from this subject, but Robin, I need to know.
Okay.
How do you feel about relationships at the dinner table, and how soon is too soon to bring a date to the dinner table? Yes, let's start with Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Okay, so honestly, if we just started dating, I probably would not bring them around the family.
Oh,
But
man.
there's just too many questions. Who is this? Where did you meet?
Where'd you meet him?
How long have you guys been dating? We just met. So it's just right. When are you getting married? Our relationship might not even make it after all that. We might scare the guy away.
Or who is this one this year?
Who
Where's
is
the
that?
last one?
Where's the last one? I don't have time for all that. So
That's
yeah.
scary.
Depending on how long. Now I say 6 months plus, maybe, because it's doing something. 6 months
is a
plus
good time, yeah.
You know?
I mean, that's like January or April, and then they made it to Thanksgiving.
Exactly. But if we only been dating, and we're not even dating, what if we're not even a thing? Like, this is just someone I'm talking to.
Yeah.
You know?
Ooh, would you bring like
Relationship.
someone you're talking to Thanksgiving?
Definitely not.
Okay.
Definitely not. Not
Just
unless
curious.
they were, depending on their personality. Like, if they're like just a friend of the
Like
family,
funny, yeah.
then yes. But
There's some people I would bring to the dinner table because they would
Right.
bring more of the comedy, or something that would bring that tension down with my family because they might need that. Like, I might bring a few comedians up in there. Like, come on, go ahead, sprinkle all over this table.
Right.
Shine.
A
What
tip
about you?
I heard about though is if you do bring a date, always stand at the end of the picture. So then, like, if you end up
they
breaking
can
up with them, you can cut them off the
Yes.
picture.
Okay, good idea.
So tip for
I
all
didn't
y'all
know
out there.
that.
Did that this year. Y'all called out.
No.
With facts. Facts.
That is hilarious. Oh my goodness. For me, I don't know. Like, it's hard for me because, like, I've done that with people and they didn't make it to the next year. You know what I mean? So it's like, do I want to even go through the pressure of bringing somebody to a wedding or to Thanksgiving? And then, like, I don't know if the guys these days that I'm dating, are they equipped to deal with my family? Because we're not talking about just some regular, Joe Schmo family. No, we talk about my family. So they going to talk about you to your face. They vain as heck. Like, they're talking about looks. Ooh, he got a mole on his nose.
You know how black people be. They make fun of anything.
When
They be like, he got some tissue for his nose.
Right.
He's like, bro, my nose running.
Right.
Gotta have some tough skin.
I'm telling you,
Gotta
no,
have
but
it.
like,
True.
or my father's a cop, so like he's grilling the next person. How long y'all been dating? Are you good? Are you good with the Lord? Okay, when's the last time you went to church? And I'm like, Dad, it's not even that deep. Leave him alone. Like, have you been arrested before? I'm like, shut up. Like, let him go. But then you would be looking at the answer though, like,
True.
like,
Exactly.
you'd be like, listen, you go ahead and answer, But at the same time, it's like, okay, I would rather you not be in my personal business because now you like, because you wouldn't necessarily ask me that question, but now you want to ask my date that question, and thinking that because he's the new guy or he might be a pushover, because he's the new guy, you're going to get those answers. So, that's a good one. I don't know. I don't know for me what I would do. How long it would be for me, rather. But how about how to avoid confrontation? Because, I mean, we got grudges at the family table, like, nowadays. Like social media beefs. Like, man, I've seen that with my family, though.
Right.
Like,
Right.
people beefing hardcore.
I mean, I ain't never had no social media beef with my family
No?
because the block button is nice, easy, simple. Like, I won't argue with them. I don't think confrontation should be avoided. I think that it can be delayed so that you can calm down, think clearly about the situation, and try to see it from the other person's perspective.
Yeah.
But overall, I think it should be a discussion that should be had.
Yeah.
So, like, when my mom, like, I felt betrayed by her because I trusted her in that moment, was super vulnerable with her in that moment, told her more than I normally would tell her.
Yeah.
And, like, she betrayed me. And so, like, I ain't talked to her for, like, a good week or two.
Oh, my goodness.
And so, eventually, I knew we had to have that conversation, but I had to emotionally get myself together before I could have that conversation.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't think confrontation should be avoided.
Yeah.
I think that it should be delayed until you reach a mature point to have a conversation that is level and not yelling or insulting or saying you or accusatory.
You got a different breed for a family. I wouldn't know what that was like.
Oh, I don't really know what that's like. I be trying to implement it. I'm being the change. So like I study psychology, and the job I do now, I teach medical students how to communicate as well as other actors because I'm like a trainer for them or whatever.
Right.
And so in doing that, I've learned not to say like you always doing this. Instead, say when you did this action, don't attach I felt this.
Yeah.
So you're owning your own feelings instead of accusing somebody. Oh, you was being sarcastic. Instead of just saying when you said,
Exactly.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's definitely hard because, like, I mean, not to go into detail with certain people, but no, I've had some family members, and this is what made me think about this was I had a conversation with my sister recently, and this was the day after Thanksgiving, right? So we were talking, and I asked her, I'm like, yeah, so how do you think Thanksgiving went? Went good? How did it go for you? Yeah. And she was like, yeah, it was cool, no confrontation, no criticism, it was just very chill. And I was like, It was. It was very uneventful. Like, well, we went to our aunts and uncles in Livonia or Westland, and different side of the family this time. My sister specifically asked me, "Hey, listen, I don't want to go to grandma's." Now that's TMZ, okay?
That's funny. My was a different side of the family that is cool and chill.
Right. But the thing about it is, with this family, there's a lot of unresolved issues. Okay. Like there is some brothers and some family members who didn't show up because they're kind of like excommunicated for whatever reasons because they can't have that conversation. So it was so chill because I felt like we were avoiding certain things. Like my brother, he was avoiding going back and forth with my sister about something, so he left. So it just became very, there was no unity. Like it was just very like, basic. It was, I said, man, it seems very generic. You know what I mean? Like, we're not touching on certain things that you would normally talk about. So what you been up to, girl? Haven't seen you in a minute. While you eating the collard greens, got the ham out or whatever. And no, it was none of that. It was, like very bougie. We had a menu and everything. It was just so like very straightforward. Now, usually at our grandmother's house, it's completely different than the TMZ's. Okay, so it's completely different. They're gossiping in the kitchen already over the hot stove, macaroni and cheese. Yeah. It's hot. It's probably like 80 degrees in her house while everybody's talking like, so what your cousin been up to lately? Because I saw his post on, Facebook and, type of stuff. But like, the reason why we did this holiday cheer etiquette was because of families like that. That's like your everyday family. I would rather be around that family, that dysfunctional family, and navigate through than to be with someone who's like fake. You know what I mean? Like, I can't have a conversation with you if we can't talk about what we need to talk about. You know what I mean? And so, like, literally, we sat there not even an hour. And then we got a to-go plate and left. So that's how generic it was.
Wow. So, like, are you calling them fake because they're just like, hey, how you doing? Oh, good to see you, and then move on with their life? I feel like that's just being cordial and mature if y'all not ready to have that conversation yet. Like, y'all still seeing each other instead of avoiding each other, and somebody died, and you're like, dang, maybe I should at least saw them.
We had some confrontation there. Like, me and my sister had to check my father about a situation. So it was really weird because there was he was telling us about a situation where he confronted his trainer, who is a transgender, and he was judging her for, being a transgender. And I was just like, what the heck? Like, why are you confronting her about her lifestyle and her and her family, And so that was a highlight of, our Thanksgiving. Was my father's crazy, by the way. So we literally were talking to him, and I was just like, Dad, that's not cool. You might want to, start looking for other jobs because you're a trainer and you just got hired at this job. You might not be working there too much longer. But at my other family's house, the reason why I say it's the family dinner etiquette was because a lot of families do that. You might get criticized at the dinner table. Someone might bring up your past, and it's on you to decide if you're going to speak on that. Respect my privacy. That's the time where you say, hey, listen, I'd rather not have this conversation. I love you, though. What you been up to? Pass the sauce. Pass the cranberry.
Pass it on.
And so my sister had to tell me, because we had a conversation, she's like, yes, some people aren't ready for that. True. And I was like, you know what? You might be right. But I just can't deal with the generic, fake stuff. And I mean, I love my uncles and aunts. Don't get me wrong. I do. It's just they had a situation and it brought the whole family down. And so now everybody's just like, okay, well, let me get my food and go at this house. You know what I mean?
At least they showing up.
Yeah, they did show up. It's only a few of us. It was very light and low key. It wasn't a lot of us. But then, we went to, or the next day I went to my grandmother's and it was still live. But it's just, I feel like with your family, you got to know who you're speaking to.
Yeah,
absolutely. You got to know who you are too.
You got to know your audience.
Yeah, and how to navigate. So, I mean, let's move on from that one because, that's a real topic. What about drunk or high family members?
This is hilarious.
They show up to the dinner table high or drunk.
Yeah, that's hilarious. When I saw that in the outline, I just cracked up because we all have those family
we
members.
do.
We all have that drunk uncle or that drunk aunt that, soon as they come through the door, they're ready to party. And
Got the
those
cup.
cousins that's ready to link up soon as they see the other favorite cousin walk in, and they already know what time it is. So, I mean, it's everyone has, like you just said, know who your audience is, right?
Absolutely.
So, because we do also have some very more conservative families that are out there, more, church and faith-oriented families that are out there that just don't play that, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
That's the other family.
Yeah, the other side, right? That's
Ain't
everybody
nobody
other
walking
side
in
of the family.
drunk
The real
high.
conservative side, grandma judging you like you're not of age.
Yep.
But understand yourself and your own comfort level. Like, I may be down to, go out with my girls and have a few good drinks, but if I'm not in that same space with my family, maybe it's because of the TMC, grandma, or maybe it's because of the gossiping or, the interrogation as soon as I walk through the door for whatever reasons. Just always know yourself and be true to that.
Absolutely.
I was never one to be like, okay, I'm about to grab drinks with my fam. That just wasn't my space that I maneuvered in. So it's sometimes they can try to drill us for that, like, oh, you can't drink with us, you can't, do this, you can't do that. No, but I'm loving watching y'all. Go ahead, cuz, do your thing. And let them know, like, it's okay to still have fun and, do your own thing and not have to feel like you're being pressured.
Or judged,
Yeah, and that's just my perspective.
Yeah.
I just started being like, okay, I have a little drink or whatever. So, know your space.
Who has brothers or sisters?
Me.
What about sibling rivalry? Not to keep the negative part going on because it's gonna get better. But what about sibling rivalry at the dinner table or at Thanksgiving or Christmas? Growing up, can you remember back who got that Barbie doll that you wanted, or who got the drum set that just made your gift look bad or just small? Sibling rivalry? No.
I wouldn't say it's a rivalry, but growing up, we do Secret Santa. So
Oh my God, that's so sweet.
Yeah, but you can tell there are always certain people in a family who gets better gifts.
Always.
Like, the family just comes together and is like, okay, here's your gift, here's your gifts. And now the grand, the grand finale.
We really love.
I know, right? You get the
And
truck.
we're just like, oh, okay, that's cool. But it's like we have our own individual Christmas. So, even if you got the small gift that day, I mean, what are you getting tomorrow? So
Right.
I don't really look at it some type of way. I'm like, okay, well, I understand the favoritism, but I understand their role. Like, that's your grandchild. So, of course, you're going to
grandparents,
feel
so do it
some
up.
type of way towards
Y'all
that
should see how they
child.
go.
Exactly.
And one thing that I think is interesting when it comes to parents and grandparents specifically with favoritism, it may not even be because of that child, who that particular child is, but which of my children did you come from?
See, but you're in a little different situation. All of your brothers and sisters are significantly older than you, right? So you probably got the gifts from everybody.
So I have a whole lot of brothers and sisters. I'm the youngest of 9. However, my oldest sibling is in his 50s.
Oh, wow.
So there is, MeShawn is right, there's a huge age gap. So I never actually grew up in the household with my siblings. They were grown. They starting their own families, living their own lives, moving out of town.
They getting down payments for Christmas.
you know, cars and stuff. And I'm like, okay.
They getting starter home.
But as you know, my niece and I are like this. And that's really like my little sister. So there was always some little, beefing here and there. I can't stand you, go home, because I can say that, right? I can tell you to go home. But, oh my God, where did my baby go? Like, where's she at? So, but what I was saying about grandparents, what I have noticed, that favoritism can lie off of the weight of whoever that parent is, right?
Yeah.
So if you knew grandma and auntie were much closer, then that first cousin is gonna be getting the love and getting the attention and all of those things. So it's an interesting dynamic. And now being grown, because there's been beef and family and siblings and everything, and me just being a child, like, oh, that happened, what?
Yeah.
Like, where was you at? Why you ain't had brother back? Or, whatever it may be. It's like, you just have to understand, like, look, we're grown and we can't carry that all our lives, because it's going to spread into the rest of the family, and it can spread into our children. And I don't want to take that away from mine. I don't want to take the auntie, niece bond away from my daughter before she's even here, because me and big sis was beefed out for like a long time. Like, no, I cherish my aunties. Some of them is like sisters. Like my niece and I are like sisters. So I would not do that disservice to my own children by keeping that rivalry
creating
going.
separation.
Or the rest of the family.
Well, we had that a lot growing up. You knew probably half of the story. a lot, because I have 5 brothers and sisters, and with different parents. So one brother might get a whole lot because he's the only child over at one house, versus another brother might not get as much because he's the only child at another house. And then there's 3 of us, and I'm the middle child. So, like, depending on where you were at that time, depends on what you might have gotten for Christmas. And it was always something with me and my sister. Always something. Anywho, positive vibes. I need to know, from your perspective, positive vibes at Christmas time. What does that look like with your family? Are you guys embracing Christmas cards? Oh my goodness. Are you giving presents? Are you embracing people? Are you saying queen this, queen that, cousin this? I love you. Haven't seen you in a minute.
So our family dynamics is different now, because essentially my mom is the youngest of 7.
Ooh.
So all of the kids all of my mom's siblings are like grandparents now.
Oh,
like,
wow.
I think my mom is the only one that doesn't have grandkids, because me and my brother look alike. And, I mean, I was a potential, but not no more.
Yeah.
But
because you're married.
So, like,
I remember.
Divorce now. But so, like, they have their own family, and like, they don't just have like one grandkid. They got like 4 or more grandkids.
Yeah.
So like, everybody, I think Christmas, everybody usually stays to themselves. But when I was younger, like Christmas Eve, we would all come together and have dinner. But we haven't done that in so long, because it's so many. Like, everybody got a new big mom now. You know. So I don't really necessarily get together with family on Christmas.
Yeah.
When I was married, we did have a Christmas night dinner. Our last name was Night, so it was like kind of cute.
So cute.
So I got to live up some cute dreams I always wanted to do. Like, when I'm married, I'm gonna have my lingerie and do all of this. And I got to do that, which was cool. But we had a Christmas night dinner. I'm really big on holidays. Like, I love it because I think it's an excuse for me to see my family, love on them, different things like that.
You're the Hallmark channel.
Yes, and I love all those cheesy holiday movies. I was watching one before I came here, but pretty much, like, I had cooked a big spread for everybody. I had Christmas cards. I only exchanged gifts with some people, like people that I'm like close with, and we didn't communicate it that weird. This year is a little different for me, a little new for me, because I'm in a new phase of life, new chapter of life.
Yeah.
So I know my siblings. So like, me and my brother have the same dad, and our dad had like 9 other kids.
Shut up.
And we didn't really meet them until we became grown.
Yeah.
So like, we've kind of been building a relationship with them, because they like grown with kids and stuff like that.
Are they with like different women, or is it just
different women?
Your father has one other. Okay.
No, that's a whole nother podcast. Rolling Stone.
That's not why I was asking. I was asking how difficult is it to meet your brothers and sisters, because that's a lot to start with.
My dad was a good liar, and so I didn't even find out I had, like, I only knew about one older brother. Turns out it was like 8 of them or whatever, and so like, we didn't really find out. I think in 5th grade we found out on some, like, I don't want to go into the story because it's a long story, but pretty much I didn't get to meet all my siblings until like, I think my junior year of college, so just a few years ago. And so like, occasionally we'll link up. So like, we linked up for Thanksgiving, and it wasn't even all my siblings. It was just like a few of my brothers or whatever.
I love
and their
that,
wives.
though.
And they're having something on Christmas Eve, so it's like, I'm venturing more off into like my dad's side of the family, because like, growing up, it was mainly just my mom's side of the family. Like, I saw my dad's side maybe 5 times. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that was just the dynamics that my parents had. You know, it is what it is.
Oh, you trust me. Yeah, I understand more than you know. My mom and my dad.
Yeah, but like with friends, so I have friends that are really close.
Yeah.
So like I always have friends that I exchange gifts with yearly, like my best friends and different things like that. And like I got my nieces, my nephews, like their kids, and then my godchild. So like I always am buying presents for kids.
Yeah.
I'm always shopping for baby clothes, even though I have no babies. But like I have memberships to Carter's and stuff. So like I love to like give and stuff like that. But I just got to give within reason now, you know, since I got to provide. My finances didn't change. But,
I know,
you
that's
I'm
right.
still taking care of myself.
That's
Independent woman, okay?
Hey, girl, she got her own.
I-N-D-E.
I'm just saying. Okay, so what about you? Positive vibes.
Positive vibes. So my family, we still, like I said, we do the Secret Santa.
Yeah.
So
Okay, that's
what we
cool.
used to do, we used to buy everyone a gift.
Ooh.
But our family expands every year. Someone's having a new baby. It's getting too expensive. It's crazy.
Secret
so
Santa.
yeah, we do Secret
Who
Santa.
did you get this year?
This year I got my cousin Ebony, and I actually love her.
nice.
So
Yeah.
that was cool. It's cool
That's
shopping
so
for her.
sweet.
Do y'all got a limit?
We do. It's a $50 limit.
Okay, that's not
So
bad. That's not
you
bad.
can go
at all.
over $50 if you like, but it is
That's
a
a
$50
healthy
limit.
gift,
Yeah.
you know?
Do anybody ever get like a $10 gift for like a $5?
The
I got a
kids,
candle or
maybe,
something.
but I don't know. Like, we love the kids too. We gotta give them what we can give them.
No, candles are expensive now. Don't laugh at that.
Now my mom, she goes out of control with the little ones. Like our little one, she's 1. So she brought her like 20 outfits for her birthday, and I'm like, calm down, calm down.
Wow.
She had
So
a-
she was like the VIP at the birthday party. She got the extra slice of cake.
She was the grand finale I was talking about earlier.
She's the glam mom.
Grand finale.
Glam mom. Yeah, no, that's like my mom. She has to be at the center of every picture. So trust me, she's like giving, giving, giving. And then she makes sure everyone knows it was her name on. Nope, that one's mine right there. The purple, the glitter bag. Like,
right.
that's my bag. Look in it. Check it out. My mom is literally that way, and it shows with my kids too. Like, it's scary how much she's like involved with them because growing up it was a different story. But growing up with them, she's like very hands on, and she's like, I want to give you this. Here, did you go and get some ice cream? Yeah, I got you some gifts, and I'm just like, why? They don't need anything. They're okay. Because, sugar highs and all type of stuff. No one wants to deal with that and them staying up. But, yeah, what about you? Positive vibes.
Positive vibes for me with family is just always being together.
Oh, good.
So, myself, I grew up here with really just myself and my mom. So my family is just everywhere else. Okay.
Yeah.
Some are in Michigan, some are not in Michigan. I do get to travel, which is always great. But any time that we are actually just all together, it's like, whoa. Everybody's here. Oh my God. Like, I get to see how we all interact with one another. So that's truly just the biggest thing for me is just being together. As far as tradition goes, never really had that because it was my mom and I. Something that I do remember, she would choose a gift, or we would choose a gift that we could always open up on Christmas Eve.
Oh, nice.
We as myself and my niece, we could always choose one gift to open Christmas Eve. But aside from that, it was pretty small. Until I was introduced to my dad's side of the family.
Yeah.
And then it was like a culture shock. So I was like,
wow.
There are so many people here, and everyone is making it their mission to be here. And like, my favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. It became my favorite holiday by that exposure to my dad's side of the family and just seeing the type of things that they would do. Everyone would, come around the table, say what they're thankful for, but it was a mission, okay? I mean, if you were out of state now with your wife or your, spouse and kids, you called in. Now there's FaceTime, but it was just a mission for everyone to do that. So for me, it's all about being together. Everything else is cool. Decorating is fun, but
aren't you visiting family on your vacation?
Yes, actually. So I leave in a few days to head over to Ghana.
Yeah.
And I'll be spending the holidays with my family over there. So
I love
be
it.
there for until, I don't know, the second week of
What do
January.
you call those dashiki thing? Is that what it's called? What is it?
So this is a dashiki. Dashiki is simply Swahili for shirt or top garment.
Okay.
But I am seeing a seamstress out there, and I am going to have a few things made. I have a gala coming up, so I want to get a very, traditional African attire, probably like a mermaid gown with,
I love it.
But yeah, just being together, and even stuff like that, like you said, traveling. You can't always do that every year.
No.
So when you grow up in an area and it's just you and your mom, it's like, I mean, it's great because it's us, but sweetie, we can't make it down to Tennessee to go visit your aunt and your cousin. We can't go to Florida to go visit, your other aunt and all of your family down there. So, it's a different dynamic. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, that's so sweet. So I'm gonna be quick because I know we're pressed for time. But for me, positive vibes in my family for Thanksgiving and Christmas. No, I'm just kidding. I like that we always come together no matter what. So we can, like I said, it could be a negative, like, or you could see the elephant in the room, or there could be some tension, but we still come together and have a good time, despite who's drunk or high. We still come together to have a good time, no matter who brought the stripper home. We still come together to have a good. No, I'm serious. Somebody brought a stripper or an owner of a strip club once. It happens.
Sounds like you, my cousin.
I told you we related.
we gotta figure that out.
But no matter what, we always come together, and I love that. Despite any negativity, despite what might happen. We still break bread together. We still pray before dinner, and even on my father's side, one thing that I love about them is unity, and despite what kind of issues you might be having with someone, they, like I said, they still come together, and I love it. Even, they might be having any issues, but they still come together. And they make the best food. So, like, I always categorize my family food. I'm just saying, you got one soul food, and, it might be kind of unhealthy, But then you go to the other house, they got a menu, and it's all, like, healthy cooked soul food, but it's still got a good amount of cheese and mac and cheese, I'm just saying, some nice seasoning in the collard greens. So, it's always good. It's always love. It's always good to see your family and your friends too. So on that note, thank you guys so much for coming together.
Thanks for having
Talking about holiday cheer. We have Henreatta, Myisha, and Robin. I'm so excited. Thanks guys for tuning in to Bread and Butter Podcast. Bye.
Bye.
I love that.